In this video, we're going to be going over how to start a home yoga practice as a beginner. Starting out with anything as a beginner can be challenging, and yoga is no exception. You hear everyone rave about how great it is, how they have transformed their body and decreased their stress, and you may even be following a few yogis on Instagram and have gotten inspired, but then thought, how do I get there? Whenever someone asks me this question, I always say the same thing. Practice and dedicate yourself and allow the process to unfold. But I know it's not that easy. There is so much information out there and so many opinions, it can get overwhelming when you're trying to figure out where to start. Not to mention, going to a yoga class can be so stressful when you're a beginner. It can be intimidating walking into a room full of people you don't know, trying something you have never tried before, especially when the people you are doing it with are more experienced. It can easily cause you to compare yourself to others and make you lose focus on your practice, which is the only thing you should be focusing on. Not to mention, yoga classes can be expensive. They can range anywhere from $50 a month to a couple $100 a month, depending on where you go and how often you go. But the awesome thing is, you don't need to go to a yoga studio to build a strong and fulfilling yoga practice. You can build one in the comfort of your own home. Now, some of the benefits of practicing yoga at home. There are so many reasons to start a yoga home practice, especially as a beginner. You don't have to worry about getting to the yoga studio on time. You don't have to practice in a crowded room full of people. You can more easily focus on yourself and are less likely to compare yourself to others. The worry about looking silly in front of others, which you never can, is eliminated. You have more options and control over the length and how strenuous your practice is each day. What you'll need to start your at-home yoga practice. There are a few items that I believe are essential to building a strong and fulfilling home yoga practice. 1, your yoga mat. You need a good quality mat that has a good grip and is slightly padded to protect you from injury. 2, yoga blocks. These are a must when first starting out to help improve your flexibility without straining yourself. Even if you don't feel you need them for flexibility purposes, there are tons of other uses for them that are covered in this article in the description below this video. 3, yoga straps. Another wonderful tool to relieve tightness and improve flexibility. You can buy a good quality one on Amazon for a fair price. The small investment is definitely worth it. 4, a blanket. You could use your own blanket, a pillow, or blanket that most yoga studios use. The one in our article is the one I prefer because it is thicker than most blankets while still maintaining its shape, which fulfills its purpose well. Blankets help you maintain your posture and are used to support your knees or your hands and can be used in Shavasana for comfort as well. 5, a bolster. This one is optional but definitely recommended if you are interested in trying more restorative yoga poses. All the items that I've listed, they're going to be in our article in the description, and you could scroll down and check out the ones that we recommend. How to start a yoga practice at home. 1, create a space you love. You don't need to have a whole room dedicated to yoga, although that would be ideal. You could find any place, whether it's a small spot in your living room or outside in your backyard. Not ideal in the winter. Just find a space and make it yours. Fill it with art, quotes, decorations, scenes, anything that makes you feel inspired to get on your mat. 2, dedicate a set amount of time. In order to make something a habit, you need to be consistent with it. Just like a class, you need to set a specific amount of time to yoga at least a few times a week. I recommend practicing at least 3 times a week. 3, find a teacher or a resource. Now, because of the internet, there are a tons of different options when it comes to practicing yoga. At first, it may seem overwhelming, so we highly recommend you pick one thing and stick with it. Don't veer off into anything else. Something that we highly recommend that you practice is our 7-day beginner yoga challenge. It's good to just start with that, and you can do that a couple times and go into the direction of checking out our pose guide as well in our shop. That's going to really help you dive deeper into understanding each of the different postures. Now, let's go over the top 5 essential tips for beginners starting a home yoga practice. 1, have patience. You're not going to get down a pose after one shot, and you may even lose balance and feel defeated at times. Yoga is not about perfection. It's about being that observer. It's about experimenting, trying different things that works for you, and just really exploring. So by dedicating more time to your practice and more time on your mat, you're going to start to notice that with consistency, you're going to see all results in different areas of your life. But with that being said, please don't give up after messing up one time or 100 times. Be patient with yourself and realize yoga is a journey. It's not a destination, as corny as that sounds. And you taking the time to better yourself now will show in the future results, even if those results aren't in this very moment. 2, be consistent. Like I said, the more time you dedicate to your practice, the better results will be. You can't practice once a month and expect to progress as much as someone who practices 3 times a week. Set aside time for your practice to make it into a habit. 3, never skip Shavasana. So many people do this, and I can't say enough how important Shavasana is to your practice. People think that because it is a resting pose that it is optional, but I disagree. Shavasana gives you the time to reflect on your practice, as well as promotes mindfulness and awareness. 4, track your progress. I think it is important to track your progress, especially in the beginning and especially as someone practicing at home. You don't have a yoga teacher to tell you how much you have improved, so being able to tell yourself is a great motivation and inspiration. And 2 great ways to this are by taking pictures and writing in a journal every time you practice. 5, master the basics. I know it may be tempting to try to move right into the pretty poses you see online, but not only is this bad for your practice, but you could put yourself at risk for getting injured. Mountain pose and downward facing dog may not be sexy as the other poses, but they are extremely important for developing the strength and alignment that is needed to build a fulfilling practice. Overall, with everything that we went over in this video, please take your time. Allow the process to unfold. Focus on one step at a time, then the next, then the next, then the next. Little by little, the compound effect is real. It will show in your practice. It will show how you feel throughout the day. It's about being that observer of your body, being that observer of your mind. So thank you so much for joining us today, and check out this next video for more.